Morning, everyone. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Jason here. Well, things are warming up, getting going. Usually I have a little bit of music waiting for everyone to jump on. Might just make sure I've got everything in place for our catch-up today. A few early birds jumping on, which is great. Good to see you here. Hope you're well. It's Friday. What's on the menu for you guys on a Friday? Let me know. Hey, there's Joe. Hey, good morning, Joe. Chris, good morning to you. Good to see you, mate. Belinda, a few people jumping on now. While everyone's jumping on and things are warming up, I'll do the quick intros. Most of you already know, but if you don't already, Jason Witten's my name. And been a property investor well over 20 years, coaching property investors, maybe just like you, well over 20 years also. Melinda's up to a bit of admin today. Yeah, Fridays seem to be a bit like that, isn't it, Melinda? You sort of get the week done and then you sort of clean up the admin that you leave all week. I do a bit of the same, actually. Fridays are a bit of a slower day for me. Usually I leave them a bit blank so I can do a little bit more of creative thinking and other things connecting. But there you go. Great to see all of you guys on board this morning as we go. I thought I'd do a little quick short one today. I've got a few things on today, but I thought I'd drop by and do a little conversation about, tell me in the chat, have you guys heard about the government committing to a plan, an idea of building, 1 million dwellings across the whole of Australia? They're going to sort of rope in or include some of the other governments, the other state governments. I mean, what have you heard? Put it in the chat. What have you heard about this idea that the government wants to build some houses? Because, for me, a few Aussies out today. So I tell you what, the last little bit of rain, a little bit of heat, a few of the bugs have popped out. One of the downsides of living in some lush countryside is some of the bug wildlife. But listen, what is going on in the supply chain? You and I know this. We've talked about it endlessly in Wealth Coffee Chats. I've talked about it for many years. We've got a disaster, right? There is a disaster of epic proportions, and they're playing out right now. COVID just accelerated it. We've got the lowest vacancy rates we've ever seen in Australia's history. And the government absolutely off with the fairies for years. They threw money at first home buyers, and that didn't help the world of renters in any way, shape or form. All that did was accelerate the cost of things and led to inflation, let's be honest, or put fuel to an already inflating situation when it came to this, this challenge or issue we're having. And so, right now, the government, the new government in, and I'm not a fan of any governments when it comes to their policies, when it comes to, real estate and wealth. They're the number one pest, the number one eroder of your and my wealth. They change the damn rules all the time. Just leave them alone. Like, give us the rules, let us have the runway, and let's get on with it. Anyway, we can talk about that another time. Usually Andy Fenton and I do that at Wealth, Wine and Wisdom. But today, I'm going to talk about the government committing to or looking to build 1 million properties. 1 million properties in combination with other states. Two issues I've got with this. But tell me right now in the chat, what's the track record like when it comes to the government delivering pretty crazy things like this over the years? Tell me a few examples of those sorts of initiatives that you've seen in recent times, and what happens with these government conversations. Right? Anyone want to put that in the chat for me? What do you think? You reckon they're going to deliver this on time, on budget? and it's going to significantly enhance the real estate market. What do you guys reckon? They never deliver anything with quality. You're dead bloody right, Chris. So I've got two issues with this. Number one, the first issue is that, which pisses me off. They've caused this problem. And that's right. They end up building shit. They'll deliver rubbish properties in undesirable areas. They'll cause, I think those properties will be unattractive. They'll be overpriced. What'll happen in the marketplace. Anyway, I'll get to that. First problem I've got with this. First problem. Whose money are they going to use, folks? Whose money that they want to use to fix a problem that they've created? Tell me what you guys have heard in the media. And I'm going to sort of dine out a little bit of... Morning, Alison. Good to see you. Dine out a little bit on this with Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, and Andy and I kick off on the 3rd of December. We're back at it. But tell me, whose money are they wanting to use? We've got a problem with housing. We've got a problem. You know what we'll do? Yeah, the pricks, they're looking to use our superannuation. And I tell you what, that pisses me off no end, right? They don't want me or you. They make it so fucking hard for us to take control. Yep. Tell you what, Jeff, for us to be in charge of our own money and our own wealth. But, when they've got a problem, they can put their hands in our cookie jar. Our money, we work so hard for, all of us. And I think it's bullshit, complete bullshit. That's why I'm a big fan of making sure, if you can, control all of your money. Don't let governments or institutions control your wealth, because they're scumbags. Like, just, anyway, that's probably a bit strong, but I tell you what, that's how I feel when it comes to this bullshit. They've caused this problem, and now they want to use our money. And it's not like we're going to get a great return for it, folks. It's not like we're going to be like the developer and get a 20 or 30% return on the development margins. You know what? That's not what's going to happen with our super folks. They're going to lend it, at ludicrously low rates. Ludicrously low rates to, their buddies, their pals, to make billions of dollars in profits, and we'll get like 3% return on our money. What a bunch of shit. That's bullshit, right? So that's my number one problem with this. It's an absolute rorp that they're going to stick their hand in the cookie jar, not as an investor, a reluctant investor. I'm going to get a shit return on it for all the risk to fix their problem that they created in the first place. What a joke, right? That's my first problem with it. Second problem, what will they deliver? What will they deliver? Has anyone ever experienced being involved in a government contract before, right? What happens? Mate, something a good quality building professional would deliver in the regular marketplace. Tell me, does anyone know what happens? Oh, this is a government contract. What does everybody do? And everyone knows about this. What does everyone do when you're quoting for a government contract? Put that in the chat for me. Has anyone done this before? Anyone been involved in this? Right? Here's the price to the regular person, and here's the price to the government. Tell me what happens. What happens? Morning, Aaron. What happens to the price? They add extra. You're dead bloody right, Tim. Oh, they add extra. It costs between 20 and 30% more to deliver the same bloody thing, right? Because the government has this stupid idea of budgets and whatever, right? Which they commercially, they're just off with the fairies, right? So it's going to cost more to deliver something shit. So that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, folks. This is my call, and I know many of you agree with this, and it really, grinds your gears as well, that they're going to use our money to fix their problem. They're going to put out these quotes to their buddies, and you have to be like a tier 3 contractor to work with the government. You know what that means? Triple the price. No, you don't get a good quality local tradesperson, right? There'll be contractors and contractors. The contractors that get screwed. The delivery of the quality will be rubbish, and and it'll all go to shit. Let's do NBN, right? Door to door. They didn't even get there, and they delivered it a billion years later. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. They reckon they'll do it in 5 years. It won't happen. They won't deliver 1 million properties. Not a chance on this planet. And I reckon the properties they deliver will be rubbish and shit, cost more than they should. You know, and probably either one, fuel inflation again, because some of these projects might take away from the already struggling undersupply right now with projects that need to be completed. And if they don't fix the employment, if they don't get some bodies in the country, we've got some other challenges as well. And then I think they're going to end up in some areas where some of these things will be built. I think, unfortunately, they might devalue the market. Maybe not directly, because they're built for rent. They're often built for rent, not for sale. But indirectly, the values of those places often around these kind of government initiatives struggle because, no one wants to live there. But anyway, I think it's going to be a disaster. Let me know in the chat what you think, because I think we need to know where this is going to happen and probably avoid those areas. That's what I would say. And for me, I'm not letting the government use my money. I can tell you that. So there you go. Anyway, folks, I'm going to call it short today. I've got a couple of things on, but it's interesting, isn't it? Politicians, they're they're a bit of a menace when it comes to our wealth, folks. Yeah, building warranties as well. Yep. I don't know. And listen, no matter which side of the fence you vote, they're all bloody maniacs when it comes to messing with our money, folks. So that's why I'm a big fan, you and me, taking control, understanding, being responsible for our own wealth. Don't leave it up to the government, because they don't have your best interest in mind. They don't. You do. All right. You have a great weekend, and remember, next week we'll kick off again on Monday, about 8:10, Queensland time, 9:10, somewhere else. You guys be awesome. Have a great weekend. Remember, this thing's a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to buy well, don't sell, unless you're with Andy Fenton, and if it's strategic. Strategic selling is okay. Bye, folks. Have a good weekend. See ya.